7 to 10 minutes?
7 to 9.
7 to 9 minutes, Sharon, you got that? And his title is Advertising That Doesn't Work. Please help me welcome Ray Vandervalk.
Still have the sweaty palms a little bit coming up here. I was just telling one of my coworkers that getting up in front of people and learning to communicate effectively, especially if I'm being videotaped, is one of my ultimate fears. So here's to me for confronting those fears head on and learning to talk in front of a group of people. So thank you. Advertising that does not work. I would like to start out by submitting another word to my fellow Toastmasters this morning. The word is trite. Webster's Dictionary defines the word trite as meaning boring, a word that is boring, from much use, and not fresh or original. So how many words do we hear or see in advertising on a daily basis that bore us from much use or are not fresh or original? I would say that much or most advertising falls into this category. Examples of these words literally abound in our media. A few examples that we see on a regular basis are phrases such as large selection, low prices, or how about we will not be undersold, or sale with many exclamation marks after it, even going out of business. How many places around town do you see that are going out of business month after month? What about if you're in service, fast service? How about, I might even throw it out there, what are some slogans in advertising that you see on a regular basis that fail to
New and improved.
Yes.
New and improved.
Yes.
Excellent.
But wait, there's more.
High quality, wait, there's more. This brings me to something that I see everywhere in advertising. Is called logical fallacies. And one of my favorite logical fallacies that I see out there is called the fallacy of incomplete comparison. If I was going to advertise something for my shop, Red Leaf, with an incomplete comparison, I might say Red Leaf has lower prices. Well, that's an incomplete comparison because lower than what? Lower than who? But how many times do we see out there in advertising that they are better than or less than? We see that, you know, multiple times, but nobody quite offers up what they're better or lower, less than. And when you recognize logical fallacies in advertising or even in politics as we approach this political season, what are things that go through your head, or what are some of the things maybe that would go through my head that would say, wow, if this business or this person has to stoop to using logical fallacies to get their point across, aren't they really kind of grasping at straws to try to get their message across? So as we're in the marketplace and recognizing these different advertising gimmicks or advertising slogans, there's something that most good marketers will tell you about how we go through our daily lives. And surprisingly enough, on a different topic, I talked to a hypnotist when I was on a cruise. And actually, marketing and hypnotism go hand in hand. How much of our lives, as we go through and do our daily rituals, how much of that do we do by habit? Such as driving down the road, driving to work that we go to every day. Well, how many times as we drive or are doing things do we realize that we've gone past that road that we should have turned because we were thinking about something else? So there's different names for it, but that's kind of called the habitual mode, as we just go through and do things and then we realize time has, you know, slipped by or we've gone past that road. So the job of a good marketer is to snap us out of that habitual mode, to say, you know, sit up and take notice and say, oh wow, this really is something I should pay attention to. But sadly, in marketing, we see so much of the same and so many things that have been done over and over that much of the advertising out there that we see is still in that, what they call the beta mode, where we're just seeing it and it just, you drive by all the signs and you might have seen those signs, you know, many times, and still didn't even realize it was there. For example, where I turn to go to drive home, there's a gas station, and in behind the gas station, there's an RV park. Now, it's not a place that you would expect an RV park to be, and so I realized I'd been driving by that sign that said RV park for almost a year, and didn't even realize that that RV park was there. So what are some of the things that you can think of that you've been going by for a long time, and then you all of a sudden snap and realize, hey, wow, I never knew that was there. So when you start putting your advertising campaign together, putting your ads together, what are some of the things that you can say or write in your print advertising, in your radio advertising, and even on Facebook, that's going to snap your audience out of that beta mode and take notice of what you have? I would suggest that instead of saying something that has been said many times before, such as large selection, try to quantify what that large selection means. If you're selling suits, why not say something like, we have 650 different suits in our store, they're in 7 different sizes with 5 different colors. Well, that might be something that we haven't heard before. And our mind can actually grasp the size and scope of the selection instead of just throwing out their large selection. If you do truly have low prices, why not put out there the reason, an honest reason, why you have your low prices? Maybe you got a great deal from your wholesaler. Maybe your selection or your stock is outdated and you have to move it. But try to be as honest and as forthright as you can as to why you have lowered your prices. And then I think that people will come to understand that this is something that's a little bit different, and hopefully that honesty will ring through. So, what are some other things that, or other words, or other phrases that we have heard either in life or in advertising or marketing that are trite and fail to elicit any response? Can anybody give me, outside of advertising, something that they have heard that you hear over and over? Maybe in church, maybe in Chamber of Commerce? Yes?
It's the word, you must have it, or you must have.
That's a very
I don't
good
like
example.
to be forced into something that I don't want.
You
owe
just
it
got
to
it.
yourself.
Yeah.
I think that one might take the cake. You owe it to yourself. It's like trying to get that idea across that yes, you are, what I have here for you is going to change your life. And how about that one? Change your life.
Can't afford not to.
Don't want to change it.
Not to. And yet you realize as you go on down the road, you actually could afford not to, but you hear it so often. So, in conclusion of this, and again, whether you're on Facebook, whether it's in print or in radio, when you're doing your advertising, think of how you can say it well. What is the best way you can say it? To use another very trite term, when we see the best out there, how can you truly say it well and stay away from those phrases that we've all heard that don't mean anything to us anymore and are truly trite? Thank you very much.